Wolves 1, United 4, and that was as close to a formality as we could have hoped for, could have expected. Um, I ain't gonna pretend like it wasn't a bit spooky. You know what I mean? When Wolves equalised, it was mad because the equaliser was coming. Like United went 1-0 up, and then all of a sudden, well, I shouldn't say all of a sudden because it wasn't all of a sudden. Manchester United always struggle to control games for prolonged periods. So what happens is there's always passages of play or always instances in games where other teams get emboldened and they start to put pressure on us. It happens every game. So I don't want to say all of a sudden because it's nothing new in it. This team struggles to control games. And it's mad because even when Man United dominate possession, the possession we the possession we have tends to be in our own half. It's very, very rare that we see Manchester United dominating possession in the other team's half, moving them around and threatening to open up spaces. Like we're always one bad pass away from getting hit in transition and looking very vulnerable. So yeah, bruv. It was one of them ones where when they did score, it was coming. Wolves had a passage of play or a period even where they were starting to keep hold of the ball in Manchester United's half for a while. Do you know what I'm saying? It felt like forever, but it was probably in for argument's sake, like 3 or 4 minutes. But in that 3 or 4 minutes, it just felt like we couldn't get out. And then when they did equalize, it wasn't really a surprise. It wasn't. Defending was poor, and Wolves are, in my opinion, yeah, well, in recent times, yeah, as long as I can remember, this is the worst Premier League team I've ever seen. They're gonna get relegated for sure. You might as well send them down right now, innit? But this is the worst Premier League team I've ever seen. Like, they offered very little resistance, yeah. They just got absolutely peppered from start to finish, other than that little spell. Mason Mount today, one of his best performances, probably his best performance in a Man United shirt. Not the goal. The goal was a very good goal, but not because of the goal, should I say. I just thought that operating in that half space, he gave us a bit of consistency in there. You know what I'm saying? On the half turn, he was receiving the ball, little give and goes, making himself available for the ball, played with a lot of confidence today. He had a lot of space. I am aware of that. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to overgas the performance because this Wolves team was shit. I'm not going to sit here and talk about how rubbish Wolves were and then pretend that you have to be an absolute worldie to play well against them because that would be disingenuous. But I thought the performance today, yeah, you can only beat what's in front of you. You can only perform to what's in front of you. And I thought Mason Mount in the half spaces today did really well. Took his goal well. Good ball in from Bruno as well. Good finish from Mason Mount. And I just thought overall, it was an encouraging performance, innit? Can Mason Mount stay fit for a prolonged period of time to show us that this wasn't just a good game and that he's actually a half decent player? I think he's a decent squad player anyway. But if everyone's fit, I don't want to see Mason Mount starting for Man United week in, week out. But if he continues to play like this, for argument's sake, and he stays fit, it could be a selection headache because we know the manager already likes him. Do you know what I mean? And then that means there's pressure on Cunha. That's what it means. Or maybe not, because the manager might just play Cunha up front. I don't know. But Mason Mount today, solid performance. Mazraoui, again, on the ball, very, very good today. Aiden Heaven, again, on the ball, really, really good today. Do you know what I'm saying? There are a few decent performances. Like, I'm not going to lie, there wasn't loads of really good performances today. Bruno got 3 GA today. Cunha got an assist for the first goal, but the pass wasn't great. Do you know what I mean? Cunha would take that. We'll talk about Cunha a bit later because I didn't think his performance was that great. The first goal was horrendous, and I think the first goal was a reflection on how bad Wolves were. Cass dispossesses their player just inside their half. At the time, I thought it was a foul, but on the replay, it wasn't. The player showed absolutely no awareness. He should have known Casemiro was there. Turned the ball over. Poor pass from Cunha behind Bruno. Bruno slips over. gets up and shoots, kicks the ball into the floor, and then it bobbles and then goes through the goalkeeper. Like, it was a clusterfuck of errors. And that goal kind of set the tone for the quality of the Wolves that we were going to come up against. Do you know what I'm saying? And then Bruno got the assist for Mason Mount, and then scored a penalty as well. So in the end, 3 GA for Bruno. In a game like this where Wolves aren't really doing anything, Bruno was allowed to vacate that midfield and leave Casemiro in there in the single pivot. And we pretty much got away with it because Wolves didn't offer anything going forward. So in games against the weaker teams, yeah, Bruno is going to get these stats because he's going to be the free man sneaking in, because he'll be the 6th attacker, because most teams build up in a 3-2-5. But Bruno can jump from that second line into that third line and become the extra man and get space. But it also means that we're super vulnerable in transition if and when we lose the ball. So it's a very risky tactic, but against a team like Wolves, it's not really a risk because they're useless. So 3 GA for Bruno today. Other than that, yeah, in Mbumo, I thought he got his goal, but I didn't think he was that good today. I'll be honest. And same with Ahmad. I thought Ahmad was poor today. He got into some good positions, but his decision making, too many touches on the ball, final ball not there. Do you know what I mean? Ahmad's form has been up and down for a little while now. I don't know if it's cause for concern yet. Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm not really sure what's going on with him at the moment. I'll be honest, I'm not really sure, man. Like, I don't know. It's hard to put my finger on it because last season, before we upped the quality in the team, and there was more of, I don't want to say more pressure, but there was more of an expectation for him to be the main guy. I feel like he kind of thrived in that situation. And this is just my opinion. This is by no means a fact, yeah? But it feels like now we've got better players in the team, it almost feels like he's trying too hard to show that he's still valuable and he's still the guy, and he's overdoing it. Like, let me know in the comments if you can see that as well. Do you know what I mean? Or if it's just me. But it almost feels like he's still trying to be the difference maker, the main guy. But you don't need to be that guy. You can just be the efficient guy, because we've got Cunha now. We've got Mbumo now. Like, there's actually less pressure on you to be the difference maker now. So you can actually just play the game kind of with no pressure, just relaxed a little bit. But it's almost like he's playing tense. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't look relaxed out there. Let me know if it's just me that's seeing that, guys. Mbumo, anyway, he's not the most gracious player, yeah, in all-round play. So you can't really expect Mbumo to light the pitch up. But he's a stats guy, innit, Mbumo? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's more of a team player than Cunha, so you don't really expect the stardust from him. You just expect efficiency in it. And you know what? Even though Mbumo's overall performance wasn't amazing, if he keeps getting goals, yeah, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? I don't judge Mbumo the way I judge Cunha, bro. They're different players. I understand their limitations. I understand the differences, so I expect different things from my guys. Mateus Cunha, though, it's a weird one, you know? Like, I've said it before. You see, when people were trying to get onto Xerxes, yeah, in the Crystal Palace game before he bagged, I told people, Joshua Xerxes' performance against Crystal Palace, yeah, and even in the last game, the best centre-forward performances that we've seen all season, because Cunha hasn't had one good performance as a centre-forward for Manchester United in the number 9. I don't completely blame Cunha for that, because he's not a number 9, but also, yeah, I think I know why Cunha's not doing well at Man United. And it's Bruno Fernandes. Let me understand. Let me explain, innit? Let me explain. Cunha thrives, yeah, on being the creative maverick, popping up in the half spaces. And him and Bruno like to occupy the same positions. I said it before we signed him, yeah? If you've got someone like Cunha, you don't need Bruno, or vice versa. If you've got someone like Bruno, you don't need Cunha. Cunha is a maverick. He's the creator. People are trying to make it out like it's because he was a big fish in a small pond against Wolves, yeah. I mean, for Wolves, and he's not that against Man United. It's not that. It's just that Cunha is a ball-dominant footballer and he's a creative goal scorer. And Bruno is a ball-dominant footballer who's a creative-minded player. I wouldn't say he's a creative goal scorer because Bruno doesn't score as many goals from open play as Cunha. But they're both ball-dominant players. You can't have two ball-dominant players, yeah, that like to operate in the same areas on the same team. Because even though Bruno plays deeper in theory, he doesn't, because he vacates the space and he pops into them half spaces. Look at the area that Bruno put the ball into Mason Mount in. These are the kind of areas that Cunha would be picking up the ball for Wolves in the inside right channel, inside left channel, cutting in and shooting, playing like Trevella passes and all these things. This is where Cunha does his dirt. This is not me blaming Bruno or me blaming Cunha or whatever. This comes down to balance and synergy. Manchester United did not need a player, yeah, of Cunha's profile, yeah, if they were going to keep Bruno Fernandes. They didn't. And furthermore, the manager was talking about Xerxes not a number 9, Xerxes not a number 9. So then you go and pick up Mateus Cunha, yeah, who's a number 10, and play him in the number 9, who likes to drop into half spaces, yeah, and dribble and take loads of touches and stuff like that. His profile is closer to Joshua Xerxes' profile than it is to a Gyökeres profile. So what is Amorim playing at? Playing Mateus Cunha in the 9 and expecting him to thrive? I don't understand the logic in that. Cunha's best performance for Manchester United was in the 10 against Liverpool for like 20 minutes. That's it. Overall, he's been pretty underwhelming for us, and I don't really feel like it's his fault. I think it's a combination of not having the right balance in attack, and also this manager changes the attack almost every game. I feel like it's Sesko, Mount, and Mbumo, then Ahmad Mbumo and Sesko, then Ahmad flipping Xerxes Cunha, then like, bro, it's always different, bro. Like, and the thing is, all the players' profiles are completely different. So it's like, as a player, you don't even know what you're gonna get. You can't build relationships, bro. The same way man like to talk about York and Cole and Bergkamp and Henry, and do you know what I mean? Like, bro, what are we doing here, bro? This manager changes the front three every game, blood. Do you know what I'm saying? So again, how's Cunha going to get any rhythm and understand how his teammates play if he's playing with different guys every single week? No, did he? Because that sounded crazy. But you see what I'm saying? So there's multiple reasons why this ain't working out. This isn't me blaming any of the players because they're not the ones picking the team. But this manager keeps confusing things. Like this customary sub on 2 centre-backs, yeah, in the 60th minute, yeah. For what, bro? Like, brother, if a team's playing well, yeah, usually the defense stays the same. But because the guy plays 3 centre-backs, yeah, and he's overloading the defense, naturally he just has to put on 2 centre-backs every game, blood. For no reason. We're playing 1 game a week, bro. We don't need to change our centre-backs, blood. If we're defending well and the centre-backs understand each other and they just leave it. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's just a bit of a mad one. That's just my opinion on the Cunha situation and also the Ahmad situation. If you agree or you don't agree, let man know in the comments. Those are just observations I found. You know what I'm saying? But overall, yeah, I didn't think it was a great performance, but we did what we needed to do. You know what I mean? Man United still lack control. That midfield area is still a cause for concern for me. Like I said, today, in games like today, Bruno can cheat and jump from the middle line into the final line and be the extra man and create and do all these things and leave Casemiro on his own. But against bigger teams, that same space that Bruno leaves gets exploited and we get killed. So as much as we beat Wolves today and it looked okay. The same thing that killed Wolves will be the same thing, yeah, that will cause us to lose a game against a better team. So, very good result. Level with Chelsea, them idiots. Don, you're gonna owe me money very, very. Actually, you owe me money now, Don. Don't buy your Christmas presents before you pay me my money. You get me? Or man might have to just take something from under your Christmas tree. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like level with Chelsea. All the ops kind of dropped points over the weekend, pretty much, apart from Man City. Very, very good result, but absolutely nothing to take from this game. We need to wait and see in the more competitive games, yeah, how we do. But honourable mention for Mason Mount today, because when he doesn't play well, I let man know about it. And today wasn't one of them days. I thought he was solid.